Whew, okay, hello, and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. Today is gonna be a really tough video. I don't even know what to say. I don't really know how to do this. For those of you who have been following me on my social media, you already know what I'm gonna be talking about. This week, I had to go to Wisconsin for 2 days to tour custom aquariums and film, and Daniel was staying home with her and the pets. And before I left, and I have footage before I left, she was completely fine. She was doing well. She was her happy bunny self. These two are so cute over there, the couple. I want to make sure I watch the game. Yeah, everything was completely fine, and so I left, and when I came back home, she wasn't looking good. She was kind of laying in that comfortable bunny, like bunny flop position. So at first I thought that she was fine. Maybe she was just like resting. Something was really off. She was not as responsive. Usually when you come up to the cage, she's excited to greet you, and she's trying to see if you have any snacks for her or if you're gonna let her out, so she can have her bunny like adventure time around the house. But it didn't look right, and at that point Daniel was on his way home from work, and I called him and I was telling him that something was not right with Mochi. This doesn't look right. She's not very responsive. And he was saying that, you know, she has to be fine, because in the morning before he left for work, he was feeding her and he gave her fresh hay and pellets, and she was excited to see him and get her food, and he gave her fresh water, and she was doing just fine in the morning. So he was like, it must be okay. She was completely fine. But I'm like, you know, something's wrong. And I'm looking at the cage, I'm looking at, you know, the entire setup to try to start looking for clues of what's wrong. And then I noticed that there's different size poops, and bunny poops are usually the same size, and you can tell if a bunny is doing well or unwell based on by looking at their poops, I guess. So I noticed that her poops were getting smaller and smaller in size throughout the cage. So maybe I thought that she had like a GI problem. Sometimes bunnies have this like gas problem, and usually that can be fatal very quickly. But if you take them to the emergency vet, you know, usually the vet will help. So at this point, I quickly emailed my normal Chicago Animal Exotics hospital, where I usually take Mochi. This is where they were already closing anyways, but they are always really good at emailing you back really quickly. So I emailed her all the symptoms. I described what's going on. At this point, I also tried to pick her up and maybe massage her tummy in case she had gas buildup. She wasn't responding to really much. She did hop off my lap and hop back into her cage, so I was like, oh, she must be doing at least somewhat okay if she can hop a little bit. But I emailed the vet, and then right away they say, you know, here's the address to the emergency vet. Take her now. So as soon as Daniel got home, we left and we rushed to go to the emergency vet, and we took her there. Right away, they took Mochi to the back really quickly. They were expecting her, and then they took us out in the back. And as the veterinarian came in to speak to us while they were treating her in the back, she was asking us a bunch of questions. And then as we were talking, they're telling us that she's starting to go into a comatose state, and then eventually she started going into cardiac arrest. And at that point they were like, she's not gonna make it. So they were like, you know, do you want to say goodbye to her? Well, they thought that maybe they would have to euthanize her first so that she's not suffering, but so they wanted to bring her out real quick, for me to say goodbye and then euthanize her. But as the vet was bringing her wrapped in a little towel, she died on the way. So when they brought her to us, she already died. And it was tough because they had no cause of death. They said it was not a gastronomical. I don't remember the exact term. Like I can't even really think straight today. I couldn't really think straight yesterday, so excuse the fact that I can't even remember things properly. But so at that point, they were gonna transfer her over to overnight. They're gonna put her in the freezer, and then transfer over to Chicago Exotics for the next day. And because I would like to have her cremated, and then I also wanted to get a necropsy done, because I thought, maybe there was something internally that they could, see. Maybe something went wrong. Maybe we can get some answers. So yesterday I was waiting for the call, and they did the necropsy, and then eventually they called me, and turns out that internally she was fine. Everything was fine. Everything was normal. I don't know. I don't know why this happened. I don't have any answers. Still, I'm shocked. Me and Daniel are completely shocked. I just had an alert on my phone this morning because she was supposed to have a vet appointment to go to the vet on this Tuesday, and I forgot to turn off the alert, and it was still on my phone. And we were supposed, even though Daniel got time off for Memorial Weekend, we were supposed to stay home so we could take her to the vet and stay with her. And I don't understand why it happened. And oh man, I really didn't want to cry on camera. It's just tough. I wish I knew why. She was fine, she was getting better, everything was getting better, and this just happened out of nowhere. It happened so fast. We don't have any answers as to what happened. That's one of the tough parts of having a pet, because they won't be with you forever. It's great and happy when they're alive, when they're there. So right now, we changed our plans. Me and Daniel and Banana are just gonna go to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan for not really a camping trip because we couldn't get a campsite. We ended up getting a hotel, but we're just gonna be going hiking over there because we wanted to get away. Because her cage was right there. We took it apart. Well, Banana's crate that was her cage is actually still right here in the corner folded. I took it apart because I didn't want to see it. I thought maybe if we took it apart it would be a little easier, but I keep seeing the corner where she's supposed to be, and it just doesn't look right. And yesterday when we were watching TV, like, this would be the time where we would let her out, and she would be crawling all over us. She'd be sitting on my shoulder, she'd be walking all over here, and she wasn't there, and it just doesn't feel right. And I know that it must sound kind of crazy to some people because this is just my pet bunny, but tough, and I don't know what to say. I need to do some fish maintenance, and Mochi's gonna help me. Are you gonna help me, Mochi, or are you just gonna get into trouble? Just gonna explore? Got some fish to feed over here. Got some food thawing, and yeah, she's just gonna hang out here. Are you gonna help? No, is just gonna sit there? Okay. Will you be a good girl? Okay, bye. Mochi, what are you doing?
I'm so silly.
Mochi, are you murdering my unicorn?
Yeah. What you doing? What are you trying to do? You trying to destroy my bag? No. Mochi, no.
Got it. You're so bad.
Banana, please. Please.
Mochi. Mochi bunny. Mochi. Bunny bunny. Mochi. Mochi.